This is Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story featuring Tom Bowman and Tom Bradley. Now, crack one open and let the tour begin.
Oh my God!
I'm concerned. I'm starting off with a rather empty tailgater.
I know. I don't know if people realize. So they watch this show, right? They watch it on Facebook. They watch it on YouTube. They see it linked on Instagram and Twitter.
Right.
And, of course, anywhere you download your favorite podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Apple.
What if you don't have a favorite podcast? What do you do then? Because what you just said sounded like some sort of like a 1970s. And wherever you find produce.
Yeah.
Wherever you find your favorite.
So wherever you get your cucumbers, you can find Tom's World Beer Tour.
Just like that.
That's how that works. So I'm a little intimidated because our guest is coming on, and I think that my inner comedian's coming out. And that's probably not good for any of us.
That might happen. It might happen.
See how it
but
goes.
Seriously, it's warm out here. We are making a reappearance at a place. This is the first time, except for your house, where we've actually visited someplace twice. This is the second time we've been to Dive Bar, Columbia, Missouri, USA.
Yeah. We came here a number of months ago on the topic of dive bars. What makes a great dive bar? And in our town, Columbia, Missouri, big, great college town, we have a literal dive bar here. This is Dive Bar.
Well, I don't know that it is because they got really good food. Dive bars usually just like have potato chips.
But that's been changing. You know me. People go, "Oh, you're a foodie." I go, "No. I'm not a foodie. I'm a dive bar foodie. I like amazing grilled cheese sandwiches. I like amazing burritos. I like people that take normal things and elevate them. That, to me, is dive bar foodie. That's what I like."
Well, they've done that here. I don't know if anybody can see. Like, there's a tray full of cocktails coming out right now.
Yeah.
They take the cocktails very seriously at Dive Bar.
They do.
Which is great. I don't want to sell it while we're here. I just want to talk about how much I like the place. But it's also a bike night over here.
That's why we, once again on Monday, we make a decision. What do you want to do this week? And I figured out that our friends at Mid-America Harley, who we know, we're doing an off-night bike night. So normally they do bike nights at the Harley shop. So around the country, those of you that ride Harleys that listen to us, you have a local shop. It's your clubhouse, right? I've told people a couple times, I have a friend in town that sells Fords. I've bought 5 or 6 Fords from this guy.
Right.
Never once on a Saturday have I ever hung out at the Ford dealership.
No, it doesn't work that way.
But I have a clubhouse at the Harley shop.
And sometimes they leave the clubhouse and make this their clubhouse,
This
or
is their
any one of a
clubhouse.
number of places.
So this is the off-site bike night.
All right.
It's Tom's World Beer Tour taping. There's live music later, so
let me mention that also because the live music's going to come on, and I think you'll still be able to hear us in the podcast, but we might not be able to hear each other. So we'll
we'll just do this. You and I never ever put both earphones on like this.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Absolutely.
So we might have to do that. So
it's like a real regroup, and I know the guy performing tonight.
Yeah.
And when we know Karen and we know her team, Fighter is back with us tonight at the Dive
we
Bar.
love Fighter. Where's Fighter at?
We know she's back inside, probably kicking somebody's ass. We've got Harley Davidson out here. We've got riders that we know, bikers that we know, and our guest today is someone that I know well and I haven't talked to in a while.
No, and I was when you told me, I'm like, this is perfect because once again we're in Columbia, Missouri. But we talk about things that make sense all over the country.
Yeah, so we shipped him in from L.A.
Which near and dear to my heart, as he knows.
I put him in a FedEx package. I had him put it together and ship him out here. And, the L.A. Dodgers.
L.A. Oh, if you guys haven't seen it, there it is. Right, let me put it on.
I think everybody has.
Let me make sure you see it on camera
I think
there.
they've seen
LA.
it many goddamn times. Which, by the way, what did I say? What did I say?
West Side. Oh, sorry.
He's not from L.A. He lives there now.
He's
no
from
crap.
L.A.
He doesn't like crap. What did I say when I was in the car today and we were on the phone together?
You said a lot of things.
What did I say about the driver in front of me?
Get off of my road.
Yeah.
You yelled it.
I did yell it.
You go, get off of my road.
I think there might have been an F-bomb I dropped in there.
Yeah, you could drop it here if you want.
No, I don't want to. But she had her turn signal on. She came to a complete stop. I'm waiting. I'm talking to Tom over here, which already is annoying me anyway. I don't want to be on the phone with him. Yeah. I'm going to see you at the dive bar. Going to see you there. And then she gets a clearing, and the vehicle doesn't move. And I'm like, it's just a 2-lane road, nice little quiet 2-lane. And she's waiting, and she's waiting. 15 seconds later, another car goes by. I don't know what she's waiting for. I have no idea. So that's when I screamed. Now, the windows are up. No idea.
Okay. I got one for you.
All right.
Check this out. So Saturday, I decided all the big boxes in my basement, like the big TV box that I got back at Christmas and the furniture box, I hold on to them for about 6 months, and then you got to take them to a recycling center. So I load up the little SUV, I go to the recycling center, and I dump this stuff off. On my way back home, I'm going down the county road on my way to my house.
Right.
I don't realize it because I don't drive that car every day, but somehow my left turn signal is on.
Uh-oh. It's the old man with the left turn signal on.
The car behind me starts flashing their lights at me.
Yeah.
And their turn signal's on, and she's flashing her lights at me, and I'm thinking, well, is something wrong with my car?
Right.
So I find, close to my house, a little place to pull off where the Dollar General is. I roll down my window. She pulls next to me. She goes, your blinker's been on for 5 miles.
She followed you into a spot to
No,
stop?
she followed me on the county road like there was some crazy emergency, like there was a dead body under my car that I've been dragging for 5 miles. She's literally flashing her high beams, and she turned on, and she's making signals. I'm thinking, what the hell am I dragging?
You do know. What was her age? 48-ish?
No.
What?
No, late 30s, early 40s at
That's
best.
what I was going to ask. That's what later. There's a thing going around where women in their late 30s, early 40s, they flash lights and put on a left turn signal. It means they want to, let's just say, date you.
Well, no.
She was hitting on you.
This woman.
I can't believe you're so
hey, look,
old and so callous.
Oh, it's
no.
not Karen.
Stop. I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
And you're looking at things.
I know. I got to
First and foremost, it's a podcast, which means audio. Go ahead, Tom. What were you going to say?
I don't remember now.
You shouldn't.
This is like a marriage. Trust me.
I know. I'm serious now.
It's a non-sexual
You
marriage.
had some beer brought to you. Is that what happened? Why don't you describe it for those who are not watching on our video?
I thought it was Karen behind me, and I was going to introduce Karen, but it wasn't Karen. I just saw legs. I thought it was Karen. I don't know.
Was she flashing the lights and
I don't
left
know.
turn signal?
Listen, this annoyed
they
the
wanna
shit
do
out
you.
of me. So if this woman listens to our podcast, I'm the guy that you flashed all the way down the county road thinking there was a huge emergency only for you. And I think her name might have been Karen.
So
she rolled down the window. Your blinker's been on for 5 miles. So I yelled, why do you give a – my mom's listening. You know what I yelled.
I know.
Why do you give an F?
Right.
And then a mile later I went home. Guess what? She turned into my neighborhood.
Of course she did. She's following you. She wants you.
No, she left. She got in front of me.
Of course she did. That's the other thing. Follow my tail. It's what they do.
This
is an obvious thing. I can't believe you don't know this is going on. All right. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to break out some of these beers, and I want to go ahead and try to bring our guest on.
I think you should. You got that fancy music?
Well, yeah, I'm going to work on it over here for a second. Right. But I want to tell you that to have somebody on both my radio show and then to bring them on Tom's World Beer Tour, completely different things.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Right?
We've had a few people who have guested on your regular morning show, who have joined us on this show. It's a different experience. It's a different conversation.
Now, in addition to that, the Federal Communications Commission has a little bit of a watch on what we're doing on a terrestrial radio station, but not on here. Right. And this guy might get a little out there. I don't know.
I'm all right with that.
I don't know. I have seen him in his form, let's say, off the air, and he can get out there a little bit.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've brought in from Los Angeles, but originally from Columbia, Missouri, Michael Logan Jr. Let's give it up for him over here. Wait a second.
I'm sorry.
We were so
This is a podcast. It has to have audio.
I don't know.
Can I speak now?
Yes, you can.
Is it my turn to speak now?
Only if it starts with telling Tom Bowman to shut the hell up.
I don't know if it's. I need to lead off with fuck trash drivers. I just want to say that right off the bat.
Yeah. If somebody has their turn signal on, just ignore it.
Leave them. Look, my mom is listening to this show, and she would have said, "Bitch, why do you care?"
Hold on a second. Hold on. You said fuck trash drivers. Don't say that. We can't get enough hired in this godforsaken land.
Oh, that's
trash drivers.
Trashy drivers.
Trashy drivers.
Yeah. Trashy drivers. We need trash drivers.
Yeah, we need. That's the one job they tell you in school to avoid, but we need them.
Oh, we need them.
Trash
bad.
drivers.
They get paid
really bad.
You guys' trash in Columbia isn't there like a specific type of can that gets picked up?
You have to have a bag. It has to have a logo on it. It's
we
have a
logo.
They're getting SEC type progressive. That's
in LA like I do. In LA, I had 3 rolling bins. I had a trash bin, I had a recycling bin, and I had a lawn clippings bin. And a guy in a truck with a hook came out and grabbed it all. And it dumped it in real quick. The guy didn't get hurt, no back pain. Everybody was happy. One county over, people have this.
Aren't there some areas around Los Angeles where you get 4 bins and the 4th one's a body bin? Isn't that?
No, that's New York. You're thinking of the Hudson.
Yeah,
okay, that's
a Bronx Tale.
That's a Bronx Tale right there. How the hell have you been?
I've been good. I was busy for a while. I don't think we've talked since like pre-COVID or mid-COVID, but I don't remember if that was the last time I came back last summer or in December.
Well, no matter what it was, we weren't in person.
No.
So this is the first time we can reach out and be like, "What's up, bitch?"
High five it, no air high fives.
Yeah.
What's really good, Tom?
It's really good to see you.
What's really good, Tom?
That's it. It's Tom and Tom. Dude. Come on.
I've known you since you were a child. And
a mere lad.
A mere lad. Played basketball with your dad for a long, long time. You got a great family, first of all.
Thank you.
Something has to be said. What caused you to shit on them and become a comedian? Why? Why?
That sarcastic great I don't know. Yeah. I think it's the lineage because I was raised like that. My mom is a big shit talker. I think that attracted my dad because he's a shit talker.
So just like Ringo's not the best drummer in the Beatles, you're probably not the funniest person in your family.
Not the most shit. I'm the funniest, but not the most shit talking. That's what you gotta understand.
They met each other, star-crossed lovers. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a cool family that you have that you come from. But honestly, they support your idea of being a comedian, right?
Yeah, they are big supporters. So
can we get a beer before we talk more to you?
Let's do that. This is Tom's World Beer Tour.
So we got a couple different beers to try.
What are we touring?
So we've got this, what is this, Wyen Stefaner.
Oh, my God, you're not German at all.
I'm not German at all, so there's that.
Good God. It's a fest beer, and because it's in a bottle, I'm going to go for this. Does anybody else want it also?
I do have Founders with an Oktoberfest German-style Märzen.
Well, this first had a little bit of a skunk coming out of it. I was like, wow.
And this was technically the conversational beer.
Oh, you've got to save one of those for me,
please.
There's
one there.
All
so
right.
This is the one that we told people.
All
this is from our friends at Four Hands. This is the Märzen style lager. Say no Märzen. Märzen style lager. These are beers that look at your local joint.
Good. These are good stuff. Do you want the one in the bottle? Or you want one in the can? What do you feel?
Märzen German?
Yeah, it's German.
Very much so.
We're
you
all
got any German in you?
Here. No, I think it's all Black Irish and straight up African, man.
What is it with black? What is it with black and Irish? Because apparently they got it on. I've met a lot of blacks that go on black, and I'm Irish. Once you go Irish,
mine is because of slavery. I don't know how much of an option there was, but
damn.
I'm sorry, I was drinking a beer. What did I miss?
And I land educated. Give me some on that. Wow.
No, we haven't done. We're too cheap to do Ancestry, but we've done digging through like the public records and stuff, and we've gone back to see Logan is I think a Scottish name, but Black Scottish.
Black Scottish or Black
By the way,
Irish.
make sure you get the right app. Ancestry, not Ancestry. That's a different app, dude. Don't get that app.
You guys are too.
I haven't been out of the house in this long. The family tree on that goes straight up, man. It's weird.
Wait a second. So you're Black Irish, and so the German heritage missed you on this thing. What did you grab yet? You don't even have one.
No,
what are you
he's not sure yet.
So are you going to go for the bottle?
So
let's
this
go.
Oktoberfest.
You can do both.
Honestly, I've got to finish this one right here, but I didn't see you were passing me the bottle opener. But give me.
Here, drink that Bud. You guys drink Budweiser in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
He just pounded it.
It's also an Oktoberfest beer. You can drink Budweiser in October.
Don't take a drink of that thing.
I went to college.
Hold on. Our guest is just now opening his beer.
Sorry.
Conversational beer.
Cheers.
All right,
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Well, thank you
Get
for being
conversational with it.
I think what's great about having you on is, we talk about this. While we're sitting here in Columbia, Missouri, there are people all over the country that listen to the show.
Yeah.
And I think people imagine a stand-up comic, the Seinfelds of the world, and, even the new breed, right? You and I were talking about Bert Kreischer.
Right.
Who I love. Takes his shirt off at every show. He's a maniac.
The machine.
He is a machine.
I told you needed to do that, remember?
But I don't. Yeah. You told him to take his shirt off?
He did.
Yes,
he did, but Bert beat me to it.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Right.
Yeah. But the crazy part is, it's not easy. People think it's easy because they're the
Taking your shirt
funniest. No, take your shirt
I'll
off.
do
It's
that
easy.
shit right now.
But
Look,
people think at Thanksgiving,
missing out on money.
hey, I'm the funniest guy in my family. I tell jokes at Thanksgiving or birthday parties. But they've never gone to an open mic night.
Right.
Explain the situation, because I've been to a few in L.A. You go to some bar that isn't a comedy club. There's not even really a stage. There's like a little area where you can step up on. And they go, hey, man, sign up on this clipboard.
For $5.
For $5.
Or a beer. You got to buy some item.
Yeah, you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
It is not like here.
That's
here.
wrong.
They're trying to see how committed you are. But so to start with what we were talking about with the funniness in the family, I was just telling my uncle last week, he's funny as shit. He was actually roommates with Joe Torre at Lincoln when they played football together. And they used to say stuff like Joe wasn't even one of the funniest guys on the yard, but you have to have the kind of commitment to get up there and do it, to pay your $5 to get your beer or whatever it is. But even through COVID, there's plenty. You say no stage. There's so many pop-up mics that are popping up at the park or the beach.
Yeah.
You guys ever?
Or the
Wait
drive-in.
a second. You're saying you do a open mic night on a beach? So you're battling the waves and the look at the dolphins and the homeless people.
What's the deal with the waves? That's kind of the comedy that goes on down there.
That's amazing. There's a huge difference between being funny and being able to get up on stage and be a comedian. Completely different worlds. I've tried to blend the two, but like I was telling my uncle, you should master being a storyteller, which you guys are. So if you ever wanted to take the plunge, you're a lot better off.
Well, you're not hacky.
No.
Let's put it this way. You're not one of those guys that's like Jackie the Joke Man from the Stern Show, right? He's hacky, right? It's boom, 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 hee, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You weave a tale, right?
I don't want to carve a niche for myself and say I'm trying to be Pryor or Chappelle or anybody like that, but I don't want to be a lot of the Def Jam comics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to weave a tale. So if you get yourself a tight 20, you probably have 3 bits in there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did you follow that?
No,
tight 20, 3 bits.
What is that? Explain that. What the hell does that mean?
Tight 20 and 3 bits.
Yeah.
That is that's a term your grandmother wouldn't like to hear on the podcast. I don't know if she's listening. Tight 24, 3 bits.
I mean, I don't know about your grandma. My grandma's a tight 68, dude.
My grandma is dead, so tell me the damn tale.
All right. Your bit would be what you're going to do for the string of maybe 10 minutes. So it may be 2 to 3 jokes that you're linking, but there's a point to it, and maybe you have an overall punchline after your bunch of tags. But inside 20 minutes, because I don't get that much time in L.A., they're giving me 5 to 7,
You're getting
8
5?
to 10.
Is that what you're getting?
That's it?
Yeah.
And you got to make something happen during that time.
So for me, I know, and every show that I've been booked on within the last couple years, they're asking me to open because I've got a lot of energy, or more than most comics are
you
ready
get that crowd
to.
going. Are you doing typical? There's the host, there's a middle, and there's a headliner at a lot of comedy clubs, right? There's usually 3 guys. So are you middling now at this point?
Nah, and that's kind of Deja Vu's format. A comic that I met in Springfield that was in LA for 10 years before he came back. You know it's expensive. When he came back, he told me the kind of shows and mics I would be hitting compared to barking for time. Not necessarily barking, because that's an actual New York comedy term.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have us passing out flyers to anybody or anything like that. But
You mean carnival barking on the streets?
yeah,
Fuck that.
some people do that, dude. Yeah, some
In
people
order
do
to
it.
get your foot on the stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the more willing you are to do that, it may be the less crafty you are on the
Time
stage.
you are to write your write your material.
No.
And that's why I chose to not take my time to wait and gamble and throw my name in the lottery, Mike, where I wouldn't get up until like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So if you grind it out at the bars that you're doing them at, and maybe take some pictures, maybe get a video, a boomerang or something like that, you snatching the mic out of the thing, then you could get some kind of views off of it. But it's they try to make it a little more nuanced than it has to be, because there's a lot of hacks that are famous.
Sure.
And they can make a
There's
career
a lot of guys
out of being
that
hacky.
You busted your butt. You sat on a corner and you passed out flyers to tourists for like 3 hours to get 20 of them to show up at the club with your flyer, right?
Yeah.
That's how you get your time in New York. And you're all set to go, and it's 10:30, and you're going to get your 10 minutes. And Joe Bazooka comes walking in, who's been a regular for 20 years, hacky guy.
Yep.
And you get bumped because of the hack.
Because of the hack. I don't, if they're a bigger draw, then that is what that is to me.
God, that's horrible.
But what I don't like is so it's not necessarily barking now, but how many followers do you have? How many TikTok people are actually commenting on your content? And whether it's good or it's bad, the people that book the shows will act like people are – they're not bringing their fucking Instagram followers to the show.
But
Get the hell out of here.
I mean, let's look at this thing. I mean –
bad bitch Instagram, they ain't coming through. I wish they would.
When you get over that crap, sooner or later the cream's going to rise, right?
Yeah.
And you got to be good. It doesn't matter if you got a bunch of TikTok tic-tac, whatever the hell you got going on. It doesn't matter.
I promise you he does not have that app on his phone right now.
If you don't have it going on, eventually they're going to drop off anyway, and nobody's going to want you back, including the people that run the damn club.
I love to see that, because what I'm doing now, I took a big chunk of time. I'm a substitute teacher. That's my day job, which is all the responsibility of regular teaching, none of the respect.
But you also get 30 audience members every day
to run some
to work
kinda,
your timing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, your timing, your crowd control. You get to master all of that.
It really doesn't translate, does it?
It did this year, because they were 9-year-olds. But I mean, you can talk to some grown folks like they're 9-year-olds.
I mean, how about this, dude?
Wait a second, so you look at 9-years, you're like, you know what I'm fucking saying?
You know what the hell
you go
I'm
to a
talking
hotel
about.
and the guy walks up, and you're like, what the fuck?
You don't cuss at him maliciously, but you still do. You don't know the power of sit your ass down till you see the fear in the kids. You've seen it.
You've never dealt with a heckler till you dealt with 9-year-old Billy who won't shut the fuck up. And you're like, dude.
God, that's awesome.
When you come over there and knock the dick out of your mouth, you probably can't use that one at the elementary school. But.
Wow. You go to rougher clubs than I go.
Do I come to your job and knock the dick out of your mouth? That's that's hacky.
No, Martin Lawrence, baby. Those ones are fun to watch, because those guys, they knew the amount of hackiness that they could do. They knew they just needed to exchange this bit for this bit, turn that gear, and slide that one back in.
If you can maintain a crowd of 9-year-olds, you can handle drunk hecklers. Is that right?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, they're drunk hecklers.
Have you been in front of any 9-year-olds? You're like, damn, he's pretty good. Like maybe
they're fast. They think faster than me. Some of them, some of them are rapid fire.
They
kids.
got more followers on social media.
Do you tell them you're a comedian?
No, I really try not to, because then they'll test you. Sometimes it's not tell me a joke. Sometimes it's, oh, I'm funnier than you, Mr. Logan, or I didn't know Mr. Logan couldn't roast that good. I'm like, if y'all don't shut the hell up.
But you also, let's talk about this for a second. You also have the challenge of being a substitute teacher. Now, I know when I was a kid. I know when you were a kid in that one-room schoolhouse with the chalk.
That's where I was.
When the substitute teacher came in, that was goof-off day. Most substitute teachers would come in and go, we're watching a movie today.
It was more than goof-off day. We took advantage, and we actually took control and bullied. And it was always a her. We bullied her horribly.
And that's why y'all didn't get snapped on. If y'all had male teachers back then, that was my parents said they didn't get paddled, but the option was to get paddled.
Was there.
Back when they were kids, I'd have pulled the paddle out on y'all's asses. That's all I'm saying.
But substitutes
right now.
never did.
Yeah.
But
the
other
these
teachers
days,
were
scared
the
of
kids
losing
are
their
like,
jobs.
oh, good, let's hit the paddle. I like that.
God, so wait a second. Because of the pandemic, were you working nonstop as a substitute?
That's what I was saying. I got my first or the longest long-term job I got. So I had a 10-month position where I was the 4th grade teacher.
On Zoom?
Yeah, on Zoom. They just opened up, and they kept telling me when we hire a new teacher, you'll be done. But I was collecting the money and going.
So could you like on Wednesdays go, hey, for today's lesson, this next 8 minutes, here's my tight 8. I'm just gonna play this, and you guys tell me what you think. Can you do that?
Don't tell them it's your tight 8. You can disguise it. You can work in there. This is what I'm getting ready to work out at MacArthur Park this afternoon.
Or give them a social media job where they have to get out and
or hit them with I would hit him with a Zoom quiz. I would tell him a joke and which one is the best punchline, A, B, C, D. E as
you're like writing it down.
Above.
You're like, oh, they all.
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
They all responded to, I don't slap the dick out of your mouth. Okay, good.
Did any of their parents know that you have done some comedy? And you've gotten a couple little looksies in Hollywood also.
I've done some TV, a couple music videos. I missed a couple chances to be in
music videos.
Yeah,
is it for your body? Is
like
that what
traditional music videos, like lots of bottles of Cristal and a lot of nice asses walking around in the
I wish it was that big pimping shit. It was YB and Corday and Anderson .Paak. I'll send y'all a link. Later. But it was 2 rappers who were reenacting the 70s. And I took this part because I thought it was. Did you guys see My Name is Dolomite with Eddie Murphy?
Of course.
I thought it was the whole summer. They were like 70s this, 70s that. And I saw 70s and I clicked this link. And it turned out to be for a basketball goddamn music video. So I missed out to be in.
You thought you were going to be in Dolomite.
Yeah, I thought I was getting ready to be in there with Eddie Murphy. And,
but you got to be in this other one.
Yeah, a couple like Hannibal Buress. I met him.
He's great.
He's
been through here before.
He came to Deja Vu.
I saw.
I forgot. Look, Hannibal's one of those legends that's not real hacky. That's the dude that put the nail in the coffin for Cosby, man.
He did.
Yeah.
He's subtle. I love that
like
guy.
him.
Have you figured out that maybe you got to get a certain kind of frame of mind, a shtick, a reference point? You know, the worst of the worst would be like, here's your sign.
Yeah.
Or you're red.
Do you know how much
neck.
money that guy's made with here's your sign?
That's a character.
I know.
That's a character, and nobody knows it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Larry the Cable Guy was.
Well, Larry the Cable Guy
is completely a character.
Very different.
But have you ever thought like I need to find my niche of information or style or delivery or get into that thing, or what do you think it is?
No, because I came up and doing stand up in Springfield, and when I first started, some of the sets, like I said, 5 to 7 minutes, where I'm just talking about being black in Springfield, and they're like, Mike, are you black? Are you black? I'm like, shut your white ass up. So let me listen. That's all it is. Just
talk
what
you know.
Right. So now I'm trying to expand that a little bit. I know a little Spanish, so I'll throw some of like my Latino neighbor experience in there, or the teaching experience, or specifically doing stand up from Springfield.
So the black subject matter, right? In America, it has to have evolved to something. I don't know what it is, but if you go back, you mentioned Pryor, and if you go, you start, or of course, Bill Cosby was like a white black man back in the day anyway.
He had nice sweaters.
But if you look at Pryor and you go through Eddie Murphy and Chappelle and all these others, and of course Chris Rock, who is like the angry black man, right? Of
course.
If you go through all of them, there has been some evolution. What would be the next step how do you focus on that subject matter? Because it's still funny when I go, "Where's the Irish?" and you're like, you delivered it in a funny way. You're like, we were slaves. We didn't have a choice.
I love that because we could stay on it for a while. Some even comedians that I'll say something like that to in L.A. will be a little skittish of laughing at it because it's fucking funny. But I don't know what some people's problem is. So you could stick on this, but if you do want to be the person to take it in the next direction, you could turn it in on our own community, or you could go even harder on. Okay, so I've been arguing with a lot of white people over the past year and a half. We've been protesting. We've been on COVID strikes, this, that, and the third. Some of them are hitting me with nonsense. Some of them are hitting me with the same
Dude,
stuff.
some of my white friends are hitting me with nonsense.
And you got to clap back at them. Some of these same people were saying racism's done before we got a black president. So some of these people need to be talked to. But
right.
In whatever capacity you're ready to do it at, because I don't know.
Well, and it's easy for me. Because not only do I welcome that kind of humor, because I grew up with Richard Pryor, and I loved it when he talked about that stuff. But you and I know each other, so
crazy.
I see you as Michael Logan Jr., right?
Yeah.
You're my friend. You want to get into some racist, comedy stuff. I think that's funny. I'm laughing. I'm right there with you. Not everybody is, and I kind of say fuck them, right?
Yeah. So the point that me and you are at, you would listen. You would listen to laugh. You would listen to learn. Because
I know that's what you're doing. I know you're trying to tell a story and be funny and not be malicious.
Yeah.
But we live in a cancel culture, which is now an official term, right? Cancel culture. Social media is where people get in trouble, especially comedians, because there's no context
for
in
what
these
they're saying.
characters.
If you put out a sentence or something,
there's still no context.
They had to expand characters for Twitter. I don't know if y'all. James Gunn, he's got his job back now. He's directing all the movies he wants. Some of the jokes he was dropping on Twitter, they're not directed at anybody.
No.
But they were jokes about rape that, like, sometimes he threw himself under the bus to say, I got raped in this joke. But people wanted to have answers for what he did. There's nothing you could do but make sure that we don't hear from him for a while. He has his jobs back.
But at least when you're doing stand-up, we understand the context.
Uh-huh.
We can see your face. We can see your body language. We can hear your tone. There's no tone on Twitter. That's the freaking problem.
It can be hard with, sometimes you only get 3 minutes. It can be hard to jump into something that quick.
3 minutes on a stage.
Yeah.
That he paid $5 for.
Yeah.
What the hell? Handed out 20 flyers. What the hell are you doing in 3 minutes?
So I'll take a premise or a concept that maybe I was working on this on the bus, on the train, on the way over there.
Sure.
And I got to see how much is worth before I get the showcase spot that I'm doing for the month.
So do they hook you at 3 minutes, or do they?
They'll hit a light. And because I'm legally blind, I sometimes act like I cannot see the light. And if I'll take an extra minute, I'll take an extra minute.
There's your hook right there.
Right.
You're like, No,
yeah, what y'all say? No, that is somebody's cell phone. I'm going to just keep doing my thing.
But I want to keep talking down this path. I want to go back to your eyesight in a minute, so we'll get back to that thing. Did you want to ask a question?
Well, I mean, the funny thing is that what you're doing in these clubs is exactly what established comedians do when they're trying to build that set. They're going to go to some small club in Florida with 5 or 6 comedian friends, and they're going to do a couple of nights of sets, and everyone's going to take notes, and they're going to go back to a hotel.
I think it's
and
harder.
Craft it.
I think it can be harder for those guys because once you get to a point of no return, Chappelle says, like, once you've pushed through, once you've gotten to
this.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, like, they may expose you on some new material, but I'm also thinking, what if they're just going to laugh because you're famous? What if you get a credibility laugh somewhere at Deja Vu where they're like, Kevin Hart doesn't come through here a whole lot, and we're just going to laugh at whatever bullshit he threw out that day, and he's like, damn, that got a real good applause break. I don't know if I should keep doing it.
I think a guy like Kevin Hart and the guys that –
those guys should know.
They know.
Those guys should know.
They can feel it.
I am blown away because one of the things we did with the radio show, Michael, was to bring you on years ago and say, okay, you're our work. You're our project. Let's have some fun with you as a project. I can't believe the way you're talking about comedy just a few years later.
It's great.
You sound like a freaking veteran who's been through this thing for 20 years.
It's funny to say that because everybody has, like, the what is it, 10,000 hours turns you into a master or something
that's what they say.
I've kept track to see how many hours I've got.
What do you got?
I'm short of 50. I'm under 50 in the last – I started in 2013.
50?
50.
Like, you mean actually on stage?
Yeah, in time on stage.
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff counts. I just don't throw it on there. I kept track
You
of –
got to count it. You got to count it.
You got to count everything.
Yeah,
you got to count. You got to count the 10 minutes you were in line at the grocery store and you laid down a bunch of stuff.
I'm counting that stuff too, but it's also like, do I count the shit I'm shooting with? So Hannibal Buress at that music video, they gave me a trash shirt. They gave me a fishnet green shirt. I didn't fucking want to wear it, and they were like,
"From the 70s."
Yeah, they were like, "This will be the black dude that'll pull this shit off."
By the way, he has one in his closet. By the way,
hey, look, I'm waiting for him to bring it out. We can match.
Let's
keep it.
Raise your hand if you ever had fishnet underwear.
Draws.
Not once.
Yeah, I did.
I'd rather go commando.
I'm a leopard print guy myself. I'll come out.
You know what I hate? You know what I really hate? When somebody says tiger print and it's fucking leopard print. Do you know what I'm saying?
Know your prints.
It's like, no, you're goddamn. You know, this is a wild cat out in the jungle.
You can't be the big cat if you don't know what big cat you're sporting.
That's exactly right. No, I can't believe how you're dressing. Let's talk about that eyesight thing. You can't drive.
No. My
you're really perfect for LA, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit.
As soon as they finish that train system, I will be even perfecter.
You should move to New York this next comedy season.
But you don't drive, and you talked about trashy drivers earlier.
Yeah.
You only know what other people are telling you.
I only know by experience. This is when I'm supposed to cuss somebody out. I don't know exactly why. They're right in front. And
I heard the Uber driver honk his horn.
Right.
That means I get to talk shit right now.
Yeah.
Those guys. That'd be a dream job for me. Not NASCAR driver, Uber driver.
I don't think it would be a dream for some of us.
I want you to pick me up in an Uber. I had 2 of the worst Uber drivers in the world over the last 2 weeks. So today I was picked up for one, and I get in, and I had the feeling from the word go, we're not talking. So I followed the law that was never spoken. I just sat there in the car for 12 and a half minutes on my phone. We never said a damn thing.
I appreciate the respect COVID has put in between us because sometimes it was like, do I sit in the front?
Yeah.
Do I sit in the back? There's 2 of us. Am I supposed to do what? I had an Uber driver. You're saying no talking. I'm up front and my cousin was in the back. I have no idea why I sat there that day instead of in the back.
Was she hot?
I'm doing it from now on. Yeah, she was hot, but she was weird as hell, Tom. We connected.
Well, you weren't supposed to talk to her. Just ogle it, enjoy it,
I kept my answer short
it.
and sweet, and she turns around talking about you don't have to sit up with. What did she say? You can scoot your seat back. Do you drive like that? Is what she said. I don't know why she asked so specifically.
Jeez,
I was like, yeah, I don't drive. My vision's too low to get a license.
Was she wearing a short skirt?
Jeans.
Okay.
Tight jeans.
I thought maybe it was
pretty
short
tight
skirt.
Jeans,
That's why you were leaning up so far, trying to get
let me hide something. I gotta tuck something away. I scooted back and she asked why I don't drive, and I was like, my vision's too bad. It's too low to get a license.
And you're so beautiful. That's the next line after that, right? My vision's
Hey,
horrible, and you're so beautiful.
I can see you're a beautiful woman through these narcoleptic eyes. Through these. low retina having eyes.
I'm sorry. I look by touch.
retina.
Do you mind if
Wait
I?
a
That's
second.
what she did to me. She said, "Has anybody ever prayed to heal your eyes?" And she laid hands on me.
No, she did not.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Say-
We were in gridlock traffic, so she got to stop
and then
and
you
put
say,
both hands up.
actually, I've got erectile dysfunction also.
That's
Please,
another problem you
put
can
your
fix.
hand down on me. Pray on me. Pray on me. I want to feel the vibration of your prayers. Get
Welcome
down
to Uber in L.A.
Have you ever brought up your vision in the act?
Yeah, I've done that joke before.
Yeah?
There's some that I work out with my friends, and I'm still trying to do this. I haven't brought it up in forever, but I described it to a friend. People ask me all the time, why don't you wear glasses? And I'm like, my rods are fucked up and glasses only fix the cones or something like that. I've got
Right,
some
right,
little bits,
yeah.
some tags I got to throw in there. But I used to not do it because it wasn't that relatable.
Right.
But at this point, you're
Yeah.
talking about what you know, so you're throwing
Yeah.
out flaws, insecurities, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the good news is this, and this goes whether you're trying to be a stand-up or you're trying to be a lawyer or a real estate agent or anything like this, where you got to hustle to grow, right?
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it every day. You may not be on stage every day, but you take every opportunity, whether it's a conversation with a friend, in line at the grocery store, in the Uber.
To work some shit
You're
out.
working.
Yeah.
Are you writing a lot? Do you sit down with your notebooks and write a lot?
After I get done with a story like that, there's some bits that I'm like, I think I would like to try to make this work. So maybe it doesn't go over in the 3 minutes. I
Right.
got to find some kind of way to bring it back if it's that important to me. Like the racial stuff we're talking about, I like to do that kind of stuff with the other issues that people will not let go in LA. I've got trans friends that unless the punchline is positive about trans people, they don't want to hear
No.
the joke.
What
But-
about this? Because I've seen comedians go back and forth where they slam, let's say, a transgender person,
Uh-huh.
and then they come right back around and slam the idiots that can't handle them.
Yeah.
So they volley it back and forth.
You could do that, or you could choose deprecation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
deprecation.
C or V. C, P or V.
Self-deprivation is you in a tank
Do
and
I
it's
brave,
not. That's
Yeah,
totally
no.
brave
different.
myself of some
No,
oxygen? or
self-deprecation.
I deprecate myself.
Yeah.
Now that sounded different. When you deprecate yourself, I think you should be alone.
Hey, what if you self-defecate? What,
Yeah,
what
that's
is,
an-
what is
that-
that, right?
Again,
I hope
you
you
should-
only self-defecate. Who's doing it for you? All those
I'm
kinds of
too
things.
lazy. Can I get somebody else to
You're right. You're
defecate
right.
Get
for me?
somebody to
You
wipe
don't-
for me. Can't nobody.
I defecate.
Yeah.
I self-defecate.
By the
You're
way,
right.
you just added 30 seconds to your 10,000 hours right there. See?
I think
see
you
how
did.
this
Well,
works?
do you think you'll get anything out of this conversation that could be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, white
There's-
people are crazy.
That's-
No, I think
Chris
the-
Rock's got that as a title.
That's a good
pending.
point. Yeah, that's true.
I think deprivate.
Defecate.
As
I
a
can't
teacher,
even
I
say
can't.
it now.
As a teacher, I can't pronounce any. That's what I mean. You take language. You could
Yeah.
just play around with language because I found that out with the kids too. Whoever the asshole is that labeled speech impediments has a special place in hell.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the word impediment you can't say if you have a speech impediment.
If you
That's
have,
true. That's true.
do you know the one where you can't say your R's or your L's? Do you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's Asian.
It's eroticid. Facts. Hey.
Wow. Hey, it's comedy. Everything's allowed.
No,
right?
but here's the thing. I can see you. You got a tight 8. You walk up to the mic and you open up with, "So my day job, I'm a substitute teacher. By the way, I don't have any vision, and I don't know the difference between self-deprecate, self-deviate, and self-defecate. But I'm teaching 9-year-olds, which is the next group to take over the world."
Wait a second. It was deprivation, not deviation. I don't know. You just
Deviation.
put it. You got another one on there. You just said
need
I
to.
can't self-deviate.
Deviate from your self-defecation.
Yeah. Oh
exactly.
God.
Defecate.
I think the fact that you're a substitute teacher is a gold mine.
I don't know. I don't know.
talk to
Maybe.
people.
Maybe. Hey, let me tell you about. Let's go back.
Well, it's
to the,
relatable. That's
let's-
why.
It
It's
is.
relatable.
Let's go back to Chris Rock and
Everybody hates kids. Fuck
I
them kids.
rate. What was Chris Rock's first?
Bernie Mac.
Chris Rock's first
big ass
book.
jokes.
No. The
Oh,
other-
this. Say it again. Sorry.
Chris Rock. His book was. Oh damn it!
I don't
it was
remember the
fun.
book.
It was fun to read,
Yeah.
but it's a short read. But here's the problem I have with Chris Rock. He never left the angry black man for a good reason because of all the racist crap in America.
Yeah.
He wouldn't leave it enough to go have some more fun with other stuff.
Right.
Okay, so
like you can make fun of gays, and then you go, by the way, my best friend is gay.
Yeah.
And then you talk about it, and then you make fun.
Or later, I'm gay. If he comes out, I've seen comics start off so early that they find out they're gay. Past all of the, bro, you had a lot of pussy getting jokes, dude. I'm sorry.
You can't use those anymore.
Yes, you can't do anything with your material anymore.
Throwing those pages away.
So
no, you know what he's doing? He's selling those pages.
Yeah, that's true.
$1 a page. Here
Somebody.
you go. Here you go.
Someone who appreciates.
His new one though, Tambourine. He talks more about his divorce, and it's a little more.
Well, he's got
personal.
learning disabilities too. He talks about.
Yeah. See, part of that is the systemic racism that was. Look, we got to bust this dude all the way out to Brooklyn Beach. 3 buses and a train to get out there, and homeboy had to wake up at X amount of hours in the morning to do it.
And
but
again,
he dropped out of
that's good
school
stuff.
at like.
Yeah.
But can you balance it out to keep
I can't
people
fail 2 blocks away. I got to take 2 trains and a bus. It's ridiculous.
Like, if you want to make fun of politics, the only way you're going to get people to enjoy it is to really rip on everybody in politics.
Yeah.
Talk about politicians' hair.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not affiliated with a party.
Speaking of their hair, their affairs with their hairdressers, fam. I come from a state where we got extorted. Or no, did he do the extortion? That's why he had to leave.
He did the blackmail.
Yeah.
Eric Greitens.
Yeah.
Getting his hair did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what I mean. What was it, a fade or a perm?
And who would have known
nobody?
that? There was going to be a governor from Missouri.
Caring about his hair.
Like, Missouri is known for guys with really good-looking
No, that's
hair.
Gavin Newsom should be tied up with that. Instead, he's going to the French Laundry, and he's telling everybody else to stay at home and eat bologna. He's going to the frickin' French Laundry with Thomas Keller.
Yeah. Do you think any of the pandemic shit like that will continue to be funny for years to come, or will we just get away from it because we hate it?
No. See, honestly, I think a lot of the stuff we're doing in the pandemic now, mask mandate for a little bit to not. I think we're going to see probably till like the next election. But it's not going to be a point in time where anybody forgets. There were babies that were born inside the house and had to stay in for an entire year. They're not going to remember it, but their parents will bring up memories and spots of this. Or the kids that I had, remember that time that black dude yelled at us for 10 months straight? That's going to leave an impression on some people.
So you can always do like the 70s dance from the disco, right? With the guys going like this. That's always funny.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's funny.
It's people are aware.
It's a callback. They know what it is.
Yeah. So you'll be able to do that with this.
Mask up.
Yeah, mask up.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, masks were the best thing to happen to people on Tinder because you can only see their beautiful eyes. You're like, oh, look at those eyes. The things I want to do to those eyes.
Chris Rock's segment on Saturday Night Live the last time he hosted was with Lizzo with a music video. Let me see the bottom of your face. Trying to see the bottom of your face. Yeah.
It was great.
Good stuff.
I think, and you bring up Lizzo and some other people, I think this is a time where, we live in cancel culture, but I think there's a lot of brave people.
I'll say it right now. There's some stuff I'm still being brave about. Lizzo, it's like the body positivity. We got a lot of fat girls thinking they just thick. Girls like Lizzo knows that she's fat though. She's 308 pounds and that ass is flat as a pancake.
She's not afraid.
No. She's out there. She's being herself.
Megan Thee Stallion. Not afraid.
Is that funny? Can we talk comedy on that stuff, or is it out of bounds now with a lot of people?
Depends on who you're talking to. I try to make it as relatable as I can. That's why I'll throw in the disability. I'm not perfect. That's why I'll throw in I'm a teacher. I know your kids. I know the kind of people you're going to end up
Dude,
raising.
I could see you like at the Comedy Store, and there's a a woman in the front that, she looks all right, and you're like, first thing out, hey, my name's Mike. Excuse me, ma'am, real quick. You are so gorgeous. You might be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. By the way, I don't have any vision. And you just keep going.
I just sense it. I feel it in the air, the beauty.
I think you got to throw it out quickly.
Here.
I can't see where the shit. But anyway, yada, yada. Just see if she starts picking up
But
on
you feel
on
so beautiful.
One of the things I like about this conversation, which I think Tom's World Beer Tour has always been striving for, is that we've got some friends around us right now. When we finish this show, I don't want you to leave. We're gonna finish.
I want
to
catch up. I want to know what you're doing in LA.
We're gonna keep on talking the shit we're talking about right now, which is what this is supposed to be about anyway.
The stage over here, I don't know. I said it before. When are they doing open mic night? I got a couple weeks left in town.
You want to do one tonight? I can talk to Karen. That's not a problem. We can do one tonight. How about when he's doing a break, you do a tight 6?
Why is it always about tight and a measurement? Why not like a loose 4?
I don't want a loose. 4?
No one wants to lose 4.
I don't want to lose 4.
I don't know.
Tight
I'm
10
asking.
would be
Excuse me while I
perfect.
throw this hot dog down a hallway. Nobody wants to
Does-
lose 4.
Does tight mean you were good, or does tight mean that they're going to really limit you on the time? What does that mean?
Both. If it's tight for you, it wasn't all over the place, and you didn't have to
You were
scramble out
getting
of
it.
there.
You were doing it.
But a
Yeah.
tight 20 is like, man, this is my best 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So when
You're
you
gonna
were in
use
the
your
radio
head
game, here's how you relate to it. You were a program director at one point.
yeah.
When you got a demo cassette, right, you wanted like 10, 12 minutes of just your best stuff.
Right. Correct.
Same thing. Tight 20. Give me your best 20.
Well, and even more importantly, and you know this well, when we would listen to it, if you edit it, that's fine. But I want to be able to tell that how tight were the breaks, the segments that you had.
Now
in
that's
this
the
thing.
thing.
I want
for
a
6
solid
too.
chunk of play-by-play when I'm listening.
Right. And
If
so,
I get,
so during
if
that
I
time,
get to a 20, if I get a chance to do it, I would do my best 20. But then from there, it may be cut. Maybe I cut out the crowd work or some of the laughs to get it down to.
have you
15 or
ever
something
have
like
you ever gone completely off of your prep material, completely?
That's
and
a
you're
lot
like,
of-
this guy's face is so funny. I've got to say
that.
something
No,
about it.
he's too far away. I
He
can't
can't
see him.
Oh,
see
that's
it,
right.
for
You
God's
can't see.
This dimly lit rooms. I don't always see past the first row, but some of them I can tell. Like I did when I would do some of the teaching material. I was talking about the difference between bullying and roasted, and just pick somebody out from the room. Sir, what did you get roasted for? Maybe you look like an extra from Game of Thrones, or maybe you a Paul Bunyan looking. I don't know. There's a lot of big white dudes in here with beards. That's
COVID made everybody think they were coming from that TV show. It's like, dude, how many fucking beers do we have to see, for God's sake?
But I mean, it's really hard to work a room like that, and if you can do it, do it. You know, because most of them, if you can do it, most of them won't be able to keep up with you.
yeah.
Especially if you're
They
moving
like
like
it.
that.
They like it.
Why don't you do it and just pretend?
That I can
Because
see.
you can't see them. Do the whole thing for like 5 minutes and then go, by the way, my vision's
Yeah,
fucked. I
wasn't
can't
looking
see
at
you
none
at all.
of y'all. I couldn't see nobody out here.
Got my worst gig this year, beauty pageant judge.
Yeah.
There,
yeah. That'd be great. That'd be
there
great.
have been some. I've done a couple roasts where traditionally you can bring a notebook up.
Yeah, they're
People
the best,
wouldn't mind
dude.
if you read those. But there were some jokes that I forgot, and I was talking to a comedian after the fact. I was like, damn, I forgot something. He's like, why didn't you bring the notebook up? I was like, y'all ain't about to fucking roast me over sitting this close to my notebook on. Fuck all that. Facts. Hey, Tom just put it up there.
I
and
saw
that's
you. I
Every
saw
picture.
you.
That's how close I am to
Yeah.
it.
I will tell you that you mentioned roasts. I watched a roast of Richard Pryor. I was watching about 2 or 3 months ago.
Is that one of the
And-
Friars Club?
Well,
Or-
I don't think it's the Friars Club because it looked a little less top scale, right? So this wasn't like
Okay.
Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra kind of thing.
Right.
But the people that were there were all comedians, and they were all up and coming.
This
one-
was at Roscoe's, this roast?
I don't know. What's
knows.
Roscoe's?
He knows.
So
Best chicken
Chicken
and
and
waffles in
waffles,
L.A.,
baby.
baby. Come on.
Chicken and waffles.
Hit me.
so
I
Robin
actually
Williams.
haven't been. That's why I hesitated. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to front. I haven't been yet. Fat Burger. Fat Burger's my favorite.
the Fat
They don't
Burger
do a
good?
chick burger. Yeah,
That
but
burger's all right.
I wanna
fat
go to
fries, They stay
Roscoe's.
open late. That's the problem.
Ro-
That's
Like,
the
be
best
awesome.
Roscoe's, though, I can't go after 7.
where's that one?
Down in the hood. I
Crazy,
think-
you talking Inglewood, Long Beach?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
deep
yeah. I
you
go to
get
the
in?
one over by Capitol Records is where I normally go. That one's by the Strip. I can go
When
to
are
that
they going
one.
to demolish that building, by the way?
Capitol Records?
Yeah,
No,
doesn't it
man.
need to
It'll
come
be there
down?
for- it'll be
It's
there
a
forever.
monument. Yeah,
It'll
it's
be
a
there
monument
forever.
at this point. Those are like the Coliseum, Staples Center, Capitol
Yeah.
Records.
But these
Yeah.
roasts are amazing. Like, you watch the Comedy Central roasts, and you watch Nikki and all these people that just I watched Rob Lowe's not too long ago. And Rob Lowe's had a checkered past. Let's be honest, right? He had a big checkered past. And it takes big fucking balls to
sit
sit
there.
in front of that audience
Yeah.
and get, like Alec Baldwin, his daughter came up. Hi, I'm your daughter. You know the one you called a big fat pig?
Good
I love,
Lord.
I love those shots to see who's in the audience, who's hanging out.
And they're losing it.
Right?
That
Who's
doesn't
ready-
sound
'cause
as much funny as much as
It's painful.
honest,
it's
painful.
But I mean,
reality.
if you're on a bunch of different cameras and for 3 hours,
Yeah.
you can't just sit there.
Yeah.
But comedy
just-
is painful. Comedy is real, right?
It's
I mean,
truth. There's
in
there's
my
tragedy
radio
out of it.
career, I've been around a ton of comedians. Like when I was in Sacramento, I was at a rock station that was tied into the comedy club in Sacramento, to the Punchline. So I would do Friday nights where I was the host because it was part of the radio station. So guys like Dave Attell and all these different guys, George Lopez, that's who was coming up when I was doing stuff. And so I look at those guys and the struggle they had. There was no social media at the time. They could say whatever the hell they wanted to. And I think about you now with social platforms and cancel culture and everything is politicized, and yet you're still out there doing it every single day, dude.
Yeah.
Every day.
Not every. See, it's the type of things that we're talking about here, I do that every day. I don't always make the time to go hit a mic, but I love doing stuff like this. Podcasts are always. We're not just shooting the shit. We're chopping it up. We're talking about the politics of the day. The game.
Really getting into it.
Yeah. And that's what comedians are doing now. So comedians, instead of going on the Tonight Show,
They're talking to
podcasts
each
have
other.
replaced it.
Your boy Bert
Kreischer.
Yeah, they'll get together with David Tell. They'll get together with Joe Rogan. They'll get together
and they promote
with
their shows. Joe Rogan made it possible for every comedian to have a platform that doesn't involve late night television.
Exactly. That's the new Carson.
But
that's straight up the new
so
Carson.
so much different now because they're actually talking.
Yeah.
As opposed to on Carson, you do 5 minutes stand up or 3 minutes, whatever the hell it is.
You might get called over to the
if they call you over there, yeah.
And if you get called over, then you sit down and Carson says, "That's funny stuff. How long you been in L.A.?" Which is the lead for you to say, "You're not long. I moved here from Saskatoon, whatever."
You still got to bring that personality because casting directors, other types of DPs, everybody's watching you from there.
Yeah.
So you can still bring
But in
your
the
personality.
podcast, you get to sit down for an hour with a Joe Rogan.
Or three
and
or
actually,
four.
And actually
get
talk.
high as fuck. Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk.
But that's the beauty. So, I mean, every solid top 20 comedian right now, big-time names, all have a podcast. They all cross over to each other's podcasts.
Synergy.
It's big time, right?
Yeah, bring it to the table.
And you don't need to wait for, hey, we tape at 5, maybe you'll get on, maybe you won't. Dude, we can do this whenever we want.
So that's what I love, too. You've got a big personality, and Tom, I'm pointing out. I don't know if the cameras
We
will
mean
catch all of
as
that.
opposed to Tom.
Oh, Tom Bradley?
Yeah.
He's got a big personality.
Tom
He's
and
got a
Tom.
big-
I have
Tom and
big
Tom.
feet and big hands.
which will lead to
And
a big
big-
person. So the ladies
That's why
say
my
will
nickname
lead
is
to
Big
a
Gender.
big gender, baby.
Yeah, all the way through.
That compared to the old format of the radio show where you seamlessly would work in an advertisement plug.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it here unless it's straight up something you
Unless
care
we
about.
want to make money, which we're not. So
No,
that's why we're
it
not
would
doing
be shameless on here. We'd be like, "Hey, by the way, this guy's just gave me $100. I'm going to mention. Vote for Don Waterman."
By the
is
way,
what
we
I'm
do
gonna
this
say.
show because of free beer
Free beer.
and great conversations with friends. That's what this is.
Yeah.
We would have this conversation at a bar downtown like 44 Canteen that we both love. That's what this is.
Oh, we're going to continue this when we finish
Absolutely.
this deal.
And we're
today.
not going
gonna
to tape
keep on
it.
talking.
And we're not going to tape it. But
Let's
it's
get
the
some work
same
done.
conversation.
Let's get some work done.
You have a ride coming to pick you up. What time are they picking you up? What time? You got a little while. You got a little
yeah,
while.
I got time. I got
All
time.
right, we'll
to
hang out.
All right.
We'll hang out a little bit. But it's a good thing to do. I still can't believe how old are you?
27. Just turned 27 2 weeks ago.
Oh, my God. That's when all the greats die.
I
That's
thought
true.
it was.
That's true.
I thought it was 33. I'm comparing
No,
myself
no,
to
no.
Jesus,
Janice.
Bruce Lee.
No,
Nope.
33 and a third is LPs. No, you're talking
No.
about 27 is Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin and
Morrison.
Jimi Hendrix and
Yeah,
all
they
these
all
people.
died
dude.
20.
They all died at 27, dude. I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
When Marvin
Goodbye.
Gaye go, I'm waiting
Dude,
on my dad to do it.
It was a
That's
pleasure to meet
it's
you.
been
but
good.
Sorry, man. That's it.
How long till you start getting pissed off at the idea of comedy and you stop doing it?
I'm
Or
bitter
how
already.
long-
Y'all just don't hear
Are
it
you
in
really?
my voice. Yeah, I'm a good actor. That's why I'm going to supplement. I'm going to supplement some of that in there so I don't get bored. I'm bitter already.
How long till you make it then? How long till you make it?
I used to do a chart, and I was really doing research. It wasn't like I'm going to be in L.A. for 6
It wasn't one of those
months or
like
2
chore
years.
charts, right, with the stars. Like, hey, I did
Nah,
10
not
minutes
a,
today.
see, that's a vision board, but
Okay.
I'll throw that on there like that. But I used to do the math because you would hear Brad Pitt, and it's a. I'm.
Wait, are you
I'll compare
comparing your
myself-
career to
I'll
Brad
compare
Pitt?
myself. Give me the damn hat. I can
told you.
Laverne and Shirley this motherfucker all day. Where's the camera?
He's taking his shirt off.
I'll
He's
do it
taking
right
his
now.
shirt off. There it is.
This is a good
He
reason
said-
to watch the podcast.
You got to watch
on
the
Facebook
podcast
or
if you want to see
YouTube.
this guy's body.
I'll hit y'all
Let's
with the
talk
titty
about
dance too.
let's talk about your body a little bit. You've been working out with things like chairs and tires and
That is.
was there a mule
that is
involved?
shameless plug. Broke ass bodybuilder. We didn't actually have the calves on the farm when I came back. I came here to do more content.
Broke ass bodybuilder. Is this on
my-
Instagram?
Yeah,
Broke
this
ass
is
bodybuilder.
this is my new business. I'm going to do the LLC thing probably at the beginning of the year,
Okay.
but that's I
so if
started
people go to Instagram, broke ass bodybuilding,
Yes, sir.
bodybuilding or weightlifting?
Broke ass bodybuilder is the at
Broke
on
ass
Instagram.
bodybuilder.
Now,
Yes, sir.
weightlifting requires things like 20K on the
right.
side.
But
This
if you go to
guy-
Instagram and you go to broke ass bodybuilder,
Builder. Yep.
gonna
I
see
just
you
tagged
do-
I just tagged the show in that one. I didn't switch
We
to the
love it.
other profile yet.
so this is you like, hey man, I've had this old Chevy engine in my backyard for 20 years. I'm gonna do some curls with it.
check out. Scroll through the page.
Oh
so
shit, dude!
In the neighborhood I have in LA, I live in North Hollywood, so I'm in the hood. So I can damn near do whatever I want.
Going tight on some of those pictures.
You can pick some. Pick
some
one
of these
the
I'm trying not to get tight on. Look at that one. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. So what are you weighing right now?
161.
You're in like
Wait, is
fighting.
that you?
Yeah.
You got to show him close.
He had to get
He can't
zoom in
see.
close up. I was like, "Who is that?" Yeah, that's me.
Does he have breasts? I don't know who that is. No,
I
no.
showed him a picture of Chris
You're
Rock.
160. You're 160 and some change. You're in like fighting weight right now. I mean, seriously.
You say that, somebody might actually square up to do
I
one
don't
of
need
these
them to
YouTube
do that,
fights
but I
or
mean,
something.
like, if you were a boxer, you're in the condition of a boxer right now.
I shout out to Hewlett House because that's where I go to do my wrestling right now.
Rob Hewlett.
who was just on the show like a
Was he
month
really?
ago.
Listen, I'm telling you,
Dude,
sit
he
down
hurt
there,
the bad
everybody.
roadie. Dude, hey,
What
Chris,
did you-
bad
what Rob
roadie.
do?
What's up with your ribs? You still hurt from when
You
Rob
let him
messed-
hug you?
He gave him the rib thing.
He gave him the rib thing.
You
The
know when he
little
puts
thumb?
his finger in the thumb in the rib cage?
Oh, yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. All right, so
Then
this,
they went to a back
twice.
room. I don't
this
know
might
what
not
happened
speak
after
to
that.
my point. I took Rob down last week. I don't want to brag. I don't want to get cocky. Next time
And
you
he's
have
two
him
what?
on the
He's
show,
210, 220.
No, I asked him what
Dude,
he.
he's 260.
I don't know what he is.
I thought he said 280. I'm pretty sure.
He's a big boy.
I asked him because when I took him down, we're laying chest to chest.
Was there music? Were there drinks?
Wow.
Not like this. It wasn't
Okay,
this smooth.
just checking.
It
Just
wasn't
a little-
this smooth.
a little
we had some
acoustic
Drake in the
I know your
background.
vision isn't great, and maybe
We-
he fooled you into doing something you should have done.
He's got that long mane. I did mistake him for a bigger.
Wow.
My barber told me a woman ain't a lady unless she's 280. I got him
Oh,
mixed up
wow.
with the wrong weight
Wow,
class.
that's what it is.
Damn.
I took him down. He popped his hips up. He was getting his hips set to throw me. He didn't actually
Yeah.
do
Right.
the move he wanted to. He hit his hips that hard, probably as hard as a thumb jab to the ribs,
Right.
brutally right over the top. So,
You know hips don't lie, dude.
nope. And Rob's are about as good as Shakira's with that shimmy.
Well, I'm
he hit
telling
that shit
you.
hurt.
Yeah.
But I asked him,
Yeah.
how much more do you weigh than me? He said, just a little bit more than you do. He didn't
Dude,
want to brag.
That's a big mother.
Well, I know
man.
he
He's
dropped
huge.
some pounds recently. He was like, I got to drop a few, but I don't know what he's down to.
huge.
I don't know what he's down to, but he's still able to jump in there and do rounds with the fighters that he has at the gym.
So
I
you're back home
didn't
training
know.
with him.
I didn't know you were actually fighting. I just meant that you were in the kind of physical shape of a 160 some odd fighter.
So if we're linking it all together, I don't want to just do stand-up forever. I would like to move on to Hollywood
Oh, you mean
tough
you wanna
guy.
be a
black-
stuntman?
Yeah, that's what I don't want to forever do that. But I
Yeah.
mean, those guys get hurt. Maybe
Sure.
turn it into something where I'm a Tom Cruise type. He had to wait to get to executive producer to, hey, get
Well,
the
I
insurance
mean,
to let me stand on the outside of this
Scientology
plane.
fixed that, dude. That's how that happened.
Hey,
So
they're a
stay
big-
away from that center, by the way.
Go to the center. All of the acting parts online. I don't know what the hell they're
Which,
shooting.
and by the way, I mean, let's think about this. You're working comedy, but you can also kick somebody's ass.
If
Not
it
a
comes to
bad
that.
asset.
No.
If
So,
it
so
comes to
work
that.
the crowd, and the guy says, I'm so sick and tired of you. When he stands up, you beat the fuck out of him. The crowd's like, oh,
Yeah, we
it's
hated
great.
that guy
They
too.
think it's part of the show.
Let's get this work.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, I like to train with a friend of mine, Will Starks, who is a pro MMA fighter.
Nice.
I wrestled with him at Hickman right up the road,
Yeah.
and I still pull up to do workouts with him. I'm not squaring up with any of those guys, but I'll still
Dude.
wrestle with him because
That's crazy.
that's what I
man.
know. But
Listen, I love the fact that you're still doing this every single day. LA is near and dear to my heart. I know a lot of comedians. I know the struggle. I appreciate what you're doing.
do you come back? Do you come back to town every now and then?
once in a while. Every once in a while.
The
I
Delta
got
variant is not
I
as
got
thick
lucky.
out
Well,
here, but
I'm full
If you come
vax,
through.
dude. I'm full vax.
When you're back in California, a lot of times you're in Northern California,
Yeah.
and sometimes in LA.
Yeah, and I mean, I came up in radio at a time when, once again, Dave Attell, George Lopez and I actually have a relationship. I would go see him at a comedy club at the Ice House. And if he knew I was coming to the Ice House, about a third of the way through the show, he would talk about his mother strayed from the marriage and had a relationship and had an illegitimate child. So I have a half-brother, and he's here tonight, and I'd like to invite him up.
And he pulled that crap with you.
And I would go up on the stage, and we would do tequila shots.
I was going to say, like, having a relationship, being his pool boy doesn't count as a
No.
relationship.
So I saw George before he blew up, and Dave Attell, and a lot of these guys, and I appreciate it. At one point, I thought maybe I might go that path.
You would like to try that?
I don't know now. I'm 52.
I don't care. I don't care. Would you like to try it?
I could do.
Why doesn't he
I
do
can
it?
do 5 minutes.
That's what I mean. You guys
I can do 5 minutes.
You
I
guys
can
No,
do
no,
5
no,
minutes.
no. I can't.
I can.
A man has to know his limitations.
No. I can tell a story
And I think
for 5, 10
They
minutes.
do some of those too. They'll do straight up storytelling shows where it's you're not looking for your jokes or your tags, but what's funny about this?
But I have
What's the story we
appreciation
got?
for it because I love it. I love stand-up comedy. I love stand-up comics, and I appreciate what you do. I've been to many of these bars with friends going, hey, man, we're doing open mic night tonight. Would you mind coming? Because more people that come and pay $5.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm having a brainstorm right now. What if we were to do something down the line when you're going to be in our area? All right? You could say no. Doesn't matter that we're on our podcast and you're going to come off like a real freaking asshole.
If I say no, what if I say fuck no?
I'd say that's pretty good.
I mean, our podcast is listed as explicit, so you can say fuck no.
You can say that, but that's pretty powerful, so I'll give you that. Here's my idea. What if we were to have you as both host and headliner of a local comedy night where we have people like Tom Bowman come up there and do their... So you introduce, you do a tight 5...
You do 5 to 8 to open up the show, get people ready.
I've hosted before too. I used to.
By
host
the
a
way,
couple mics in Springfield.
I'll act as a guest MC. I'm not funny. I'm not funny, but I'll.
That's the way I would do it. So if I couldn't get you to do a set, I would ask you to host it to let me headline.
So I would, but we'd have you sprinkled throughout the whole thing.
We could do.
So we lead with you. We go a couple of the Tom Bowman types.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. And then I come back out. I bring you back out. You do a little tiny set, a couple more, and then you close it.
So we could co-host, and I would get most of your in-between sets
Yes.
right before you. You could do a couple minutes to intro me.
I'm not funny.
What?
Now
I'm not funny.
we've done some comedy stuff in town with some people that we know. There have been comedy showcases.
I'm not funny.
No, not you.
Thank you.
But we know people that are funny, and we've done some.
We do, and we know some people
You
that
can
will.
keep attention. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
can keep attention for
that
3
I
to
can
5.
work on.
No,
but
he's a good host.
I can host it, but if
as
you
far
give
as
me,
comedians go, you're an amazing host.
I don't know
That's
if
no,
I don't know.
that's a compliment.
I'm not sure if that was.
That one's
I'm
a
gonna
compliment.
I'm
really
gonna
was.
listen
You
to
didn't
the
have to bark
podcast
to do
later,
it. That one's
and I'm gonna see. Would you do that with us? Could we do something like that?
yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
He didn't say fuck no,
No, he said
which
fuck
I
yes.
think calls attention for this.
I need to turn down.
Dude, this
Fuck
has been
yeah.
this has been fun. Look, once again, if you live in the Columbia area, Dive Bar. Look behind me.
Yeah.
Dive Bar. This used to be a volleyball sand court. This is now pavers, umbrellas, chairs, music, beer, food.
All the volleyball players left. They're playing on the business loop right now.
Good. That's where they belong.
And they keep getting hit by cars. I'm sorry about
Dude,
that.
this has been great. Love it.
Michael Logan Jr.
If you're in LA, look for him.
If you're in middle school in LA,
Hey, if you need programs, if you're trying to get swole, get your broke ass body built at the Broke Ass Bodybuilder.
yeah,
We
yeah.
push it. I'm trying to get
Swole.
paid.
Put that thing up.
This has been a podcast story. Tom's World Beer Tour. For future episodes, download and subscribe where you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or send us an email at tomsworldbeertour@gmail.com. All content property of Tom's World Beer Tour, copyright 2021. No beer was harmed during this production. Only consumed.